Hi there, my name's John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the narrative lectionary. We're looking at the 13th Sunday after Pentecost, and we're starting the Lord's Prayer. And the theme that the working preachers on their 4-week series talks about that we can talk about Father. We say, Our Father who art in heaven, our Father. And I'm going to actually, instead of looking at that, I'm looking at just prayer in general, about the Lord's Prayer, and that there are times that we think that we have to use special code language when we pray. And the item I'm using, there's one of two items, but they're the same thing. One is this detective kit. Now, this is the one I could find today. Last week, or a couple of weeks ago, for the Revised Common Lectionary, I used it was a secret code message. Now, this is a thumbprint, and you can check, but it's still this idea that using a detective kit or a code that you write, this idea that somehow we think that we have to speak secretly so that God will hear us. The other item, and this works out really well, a piece of paper, take lemon juice and a toothpick, and you're going to write a message, and you can write "I love you." So you take either a lemon and you can poke the toothpick in it, or lemon juice where you pour it into a little bowl, and you write on this piece of paper "I love you," and then you let that dry. And when you dry it fades away. And you want to do it so you don't soak the paper, but you do it enough to where you can see the "I love you." Then if you take a candle on the other end, some heat source, but a candle works, and you take the candle and you heat up the piece of paper, the lemon juice will brown. And so that's the secret message. So you hand it off to a friend, they can't see it. If someone gets the piece of paper, they can't see it. And so it's that secret message. You can use the old rubbing, using the impression where you write a message on the top of a pad of paper, and then you rip that pad of paper off, and if someone takes a crayon and they rub it on there, they can make out what was written on the piece of paper. Another way of all these code stuff. All of it is pointing in the direction that sometimes we think we have to speak with a special code in order for God to hear us, and that maybe we think the Lord's Prayer is that somehow it's a secret code. But no, Jesus is teaching us to pray, giving us a way of praying. But when we pray, we can say, God, when we pray the Lord's Prayer, we're using that word Abba, which is a very intimate word for God, that we pour out our hearts to God, that we don't have to do it in some special ABC way, and then that equals that God will hear us. 1 + 1 = God hearing us. But that prayer is a way of us talking to God. And so that's the item I'm using. I'm using the idea of that prayer isn't a secret code that God gives us, and God hears us, and we can pray like we would be talking to our best friend. So anyway, I hope that is a springboard for you for your children's sermon, and as always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great week.